Yay, it worked.
Okay, that's my last Zoom meeting.
I'm so sorry.
So, I mean, when you remove the co-chair who has been working so hard for an entire year from the meeting and she can't even get back in, I think that's
You know, everyone, all of us have been working so hard. And I was just like, I have actually done this before on purpose, like removed problematic people from Zoom meetings.
Yes,
So
yes,
I'm like,
yes,
gosh,
yes.
did I behave badly? And I don't even remember.
What could you have done in a second, you know?
You never know. You never know.
Yes. No, it's like on the Wordle, the omit button's on the wrong side. Remove is on the left and admit is on the right, and it
Should be
shouldn't
the other
be
way
like that.
around.
Yes. And so then you can change the settings. So I had to go into the meeting and change the settings. And then what I discovered after I ended the meeting is that all the way at the end of that settings page, there's a regenerate button.
Okay.
So I did that. And so now after the meeting, I'll have to go back in and change those settings because this is the town's account and they
Okay.
have it set up with more security. But anyway, I learned a new thing about Zoom.
There you go. There you
Yes.
go. And with God willing, we'll still have a lot of work to do on it. So.
That's right.
Hey,
yes.
Michelle, I gather you've got low bandwidth or something tonight. Okay, have your camera on.
You had it on before. Okay, where is she? There she
There
goes.
you are.
I was the first person on, but no, second person. Brad beat me. I don't know. Maybe I just had to agree to the fact that this was being recorded.
Yes. Yes.
And then it was okay after I did that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we don't have Tim back yet.
Oh, let me text him.
Okay.
All right.
Technology. I think my battery has enough. I didn't plug it in because I was worried about the thunder, but now it seems to be gone. Everybody have busy days today? Yeah.
All right. I sent him a text. I imagine we'll
Okay.
hear from him soon.
Well, we could do the Zoom statement anyway while we're waiting.
Right. Okay. So we're having the meeting on Zoom, which is allowable by UPA meeting law, and for the time being, and the recording will be on file with the town clerk's office until the minutes are posted.
Okay. And so we have minutes to review from May 5th. I think we can start because we have a quorum. And Brad is present for now. He may be in and out of the meeting. I don't know if anybody else saw his email besides Kate and Marianne and I, but he's got 2 meetings going on simultaneously. New Salem and us. Okay. I have just one comment. The 5th dot down, Melanie, there was a sentence about the elementary school roof as a non-issue, and then the next sentence didn't make sense to me. So can we look at that?
Mm-hmm.
Which date are we looking at?
May 5th.
May 5th.
May
Ones from
5th.
last
Okay.
week aren't done
All
yet.
righty.
That's okay.
Okay.
That was a long,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the finance committee said the funds will be allocated. That makes more sense. These qualifiers funds, the roof cannot be voted on this year. Yeah, okay. So I just changed it to the finance committee said the funds will be allocated.
Well, it's on a warrant
That fixed
article too, I believe, right? Isn't it? Is it on a warrant article? No, it's not. It's just in the budget. Okay. Maybe we just say that they're putting it in the budget.
It's not even in the FY23 budget. I don't
it's
believe.
not.
I believe.
I saw something there, but it was pending.
Yes, so that was pending on a spreadsheet that the finance committee put together, but I believe, and I'm open to correction as always, that we're waiting, the finance committee are waiting for engineering study. And once that's complete, they will put forward a warrant article for a special town meeting that would appropriate up to the $750,000 that they've set aside. Is that correct, Marianne?
That's partially correct.
Okay, all right, well, that's something.
All right, good. So they're doing two things. So they've capital planning and the finance committee have approved engineering so that they can get a design for the roof and then get a cost estimate. And then the town and the Union 28 school union have applied for a grant from the Massachusetts School Building Authority or whatever they're called. And they have applied for the grant before and it's been declined because they've run out of money. But the roof is now 4 or 5 years older than when they first started, or 3 or 4 years older than when they first started applying for the grant. So they feel like, and other schools with roofs of this age locally have gotten this grant money. So they've applied for the grant again, but they won't know before town meeting if they have the grant. It may be before the end of the summer. So they're going to go ahead and do the engineering so that in the fall, if they don't, or at the end of the summer, they don't have the grant, then we can have a special town meeting. Even if we do get the school grant, we're still going to have a special town meeting to fund our local portion. So it's really more about that grant than the engineering.
Thank you. That's important. Thanks. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. The other question I have is we still don't have any word from select board or town administrator, or anybody about whether the school roof is eligible for ARPA funds. The last I remember hearing is that it is. And when I looked at the legislation, it looks like anything that improves environmental health, indoor environmental health qualifies, which a new roof certainly would do. So
Right.
what have you heard?
So
What
the
I
select board
remember-
actually discussed this at their meeting last week.
Oh, okay, because Eric brought it up. Eric stuck. Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. And Rita went to a workshop on ARPA funds, and if communities get less than $10 million, and Shutesbury is going to get about 550,000, then they really can spend it on almost anything, not like a bowling alley, but any kind of infrastructure needs. So the ARPA funds can be spent on the school roof. The select board did make a plan to send out a notice to all town committees and departments saying that the town has ARPA funding and what are your committees or departments needs that ARPA funding could be used for. And then, so they want to have a conversation about it. But it can be used for the school roof if it's needed.
Great, thank you.
So I'm wondering how much of that some of that happened after this meeting, but I also kind of have taken issue with the way it said the elementary school roof is a non-issue. I mean, maybe to us it's a non-issue, but it just doesn't look good. And I don't know who said that, but maybe there's a way to just clarify this a little bit, or even say, go to the finance committee meeting notes for further information, or I don't know, because it's not really our purview. So I don't know how much we need to put there, especially since this was like May 5th. This was a while ago now.
Yeah, I
So
don't.
how
know
could that be
that-
worded?
Well, I mean, I think insofar as we have a position, it's that this is a false dichotomy, right? And that's the finance committee's position as well, right?
Mhm.
So it's not so much of a non-issue as a false dichotomy.
Right. So do we even need that sentence in there? It just makes it sound like it's a non-issue to us, like we don't care
Yeah.
or something, but
So Tim says he's waiting to be let in,
oh,
and I don't see anybody waiting to be let in.
maybe he's in the wrong meeting.
I will
There's
text
that
him.
possibility. I've done that
Okay.
before.
All right.
Because it's probably struck out
Right.
now on the calendar because it looks like it's already
Okay.
started.
Right.
Do you want to strike that sentence then?
Sure, I think that one of the things that the reason that got brought up at the meeting was I think the point of that sentence was, or whoever said it, was they were trying to say that that the library project, and it's not either or, it's not like Kate was saying, it's not like one will, if we do the library, then the roof won't be funded. So I'm wondering if there's a way we can
Yeah, I
can
think
say
that is a
that.
quote from a, am I remembering this right, that this was a, yeah, I don't know where that,
I mean, we didn't have any guests that night according to the notes, so it had to come from one of us.
yeah, it doesn't sound like us, but
I know, that's why I was like, wonder who said that.
I mean, I could just put the elementary school roof and the library
can both be funded.
can both be funded.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do that then. That sounds better. Probably what was meant.
will both be funded.
Yeah,
Well, we hope. We don't actually know about either. So I would
Oh,
say can.
okay. Yeah, you're right.
and it sounds like
Oh, there he is.
you already fixed the
I
other.
better not
sentence.
remove him. Okay.
You want to just reread the sentence that you fixed so that we can vote on the minutes unless there's any other changes or
And
questions?
then I also didn't put the next meeting in the minutes. I just had it blank, so I added that in too.
Oh, okay, I didn't notice. Okay, so
let's
how'd you fix the sentence right after it? Can you just reread this? Because
So I put
the finance committee said,
the finance committee said the funds will be allocated. The roof qualifies for expenditure of ARPA funds, and the roof cannot be voted on at this year's town meeting because of an engineering study that needs to be done first.
okay,
There's a citizens petition on this year's town meeting agenda to fund the roof.
okay. Any other suggestions or comments or questions about the minutes?
Thanks, Melanie. I'm remembering now that that was a report back from the FinCom meeting that some of us were attended. Thank
Okay,
you.
that makes sense.
So that actually might be helpful for context.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Saying, like
Yeah, if
making
you
it a
wanna-
separate bullet, which
Yep.
says, trustees attended a FinCom meeting and reported back that, and then the rest of that. And the rest of that would start with both the library and the elementary school can be funded.
Okay, so some trustees attended a finance committee meeting. The elementary school roof and the library can both be funded.
Yep. I think it's important to say reported back because
Mhm.
it's weren't our determinations or these aren't our decisions, right?
Reported back.
We're reporting back from that
Right.
FinCom meeting.
Exactly.
Okay, so some trustees attended a finance committee meeting and reported back.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, any others? Okay, anybody want to make a motion to
I
accept?
move that we vote to approve the minutes as amended.
Anybody want a second?
Second.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I have to do roll call vote. Okay, Melanie,
yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Savannah,
Yes.
and Tim.
Yes.
Michelle, yes. Okay. All right, so I just wanted to know if there's any updates that we know about from our library director?
Updates that we know about from our library director. So Wednesday evening, we're having a pizza party and a reading flash mob at lot 032. So this came up with a group of people sitting around talking about ways to engage people and get them to interact with with the footprint at lot 032. And somebody said, do a reading flash mob because those reading flash mobs we did over the summer were so magical. So I've planned it. I have no idea how many people are going to come, and I would really love it if those of you who can come do come. We're asking people to arrive between 5:15 and 6:15. We'll have pizza and lemonade. And then from 6:15 to 7:15, everybody sits and reads their own book. So you bring a lawn chair or a blanket and a book to read. And then people just mingle. And I won't be alone, but I really like to not be there with just 5 people. And I guess I'm just going to get like 4 party size pizzas. And if there's leftover pizza, I'll find a way to give it to people. So, because that's 100 small slices. So I'm just gonna guess.
Does anybody know if they can attend?
I will be there. I will try to bring my family. I will not be there before like 6:15 because I have
Okay.
a meeting till 6.
Okay.
So I know I won't be there. My dog has her second vet appointment at 5, which takes 45 minutes, and it's in Montague, and I can't eat pizza anyway in public, so probably won't be there.
I hope to join in.
Okay, we got 2.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea for me to join. We talked about that, Marianne, because of Lillian. My child Lillian was their roommate was exposed to COVID when I hung out with them 2 days ago.
I
So,
get it. As
yeah.
you know, we have an active case in my household. That's why I'm not going. Savannah, do you think you'll be going or no?
Oh, Savannah won't go. No.
Okay, and
I'm
Tim?
not very mobile at the moment. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
All
Tim,
right.
for you,
Okay.
you indicating anything, Tim?
But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. So.
All right. Is there anything else?
I'm just, doing town meeting prep. That's, so I'm thinking about, a report where I just give all the statistics. People do seem to listen to it and respond to it every year. And that's all. I'm sorry. I think I'm kind of tired tonight. So
It's okay. It's okay. I had coffee in the late afternoon and I'm already fading, which is unusual.
okay. So I don't have much
Okay.
much to share.
Yeah, so one of the things that you mentioned was who was going to speak at town meeting. Go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, Marianne, I think, you always are so good at this. And especially, given the last year of open, closed, up and down, all the rest of it, focusing as much as you can on the stories that are behind those statistics is going to be really powerful. So I would encourage you to do that. And I volunteer. If you want to just draft an outline or anything like that, I volunteer to give feedback if that's welcome.
Okay. All right. And then I thought at town meeting, when we're presenting the library, that we should do something similar to like what we did in the forum last week. And so I could talk about the building program. And then maybe a few more elements of, like I didn't mention the lockers. And I actually think that's a really neat feature. So a few more little elements
The
like
lockers,
that.
you said the lockers?
Yeah, so the building program calls for lockers so that if
Right.
people want to pick things up after hours, they can be put in a locker. And that extends the hours that the library is accessible to people. And so I thought that that's sort of the piece I should talk to. And then I thought Brad should talk to the finances. And then I thought somebody should talk to why we need it. Or what do you think, Kate?
I think it would be great if someone spoke to why we need it and the opportunity that we have. I am so sick of the sound of my voice on social media and elsewhere. I'm just so tired of hearing from me. If anybody else wants to volunteer, I would be so grateful because I think I can't be the person most sick of my voice. Everyone's got to be sick of me by now.
Well, I'll be there, but I have to be masked until Sunday, so it's a little awkward. Tim,
I, for one, am not sick of your voice. I think it's a great voice. I love the way you present things.
I agree. I was going to commend you tonight. You have been so patient, the way you respond to what's going on next door. It's incredible. It's like turned into
you.
another full-time job for you. It's a lot.
You know what? It kind of has been, and I'm getting a little fraught. So I'm trying to just really hard to breathe and keep my cool. But the fact that I have your support and is huge. So I thank you all so much. Yeah, I will do that. And Marianne, maybe you and I and Brad could just swap talking points. I think amongst the three of us, we will do our best to cover it. And then, oh, I just wanted to give you all another update on messaging. We got, and when by we, I mean me, Marianne, and Becky got an inquiry from Scott Martzbach, who's the really sound, I think, reporter at the Daily Hampshire Gazette. And with questions about the environmental testing and of the site. And Mary and I worked very quickly together to put together a response, which I think was everything he needed. I haven't seen a response from him, but we basically pulled the language out of the bill of the grant application that gives the site history and the findings from the previous testing, the findings from the most recent testing, and the next steps that the town is taking to pursue remediation. And then he also said, like, is there a FAQ or anything that's going to be distributed at town meeting? Now that's a good question. We just distributed one to every household. I'm not sure if we want to print something else up again. They're expensive to print, but I hope I'm not derailing your agenda too much, Michelle.
No, I mean, I put communication, and that's what I was alluding to, that I wanted to talk
Okay.
about these kinds of things. And I think that he's probably busy reading. There was a lot for him to read, and he wants to get it right. So he'll read that lengthy report, I'm sure.
I think that's right. This was actually, he was apparently a letter to the editor had been submitted, which had some claims about environmental testing findings and remediation, and he was sort of doing some fact checking on that, which I thought was great. And then we also pointed him to the whole project website, to our recent letter, corrected version, and the slides that I just put together over the weekend, I think, about how the tax impact for the town and homeowners decreases over time. So, and just said, if you have any questions, let us know. We'll be happy to answer them.
I'm so glad he reached out, because the way I read what he said looked like he said that it was alluding to. So I'm glad he wanted to fact check, because
Yeah, me too. It's
Yeah.
really good journalism.
Yes, excellent. Anybody have any other comments or questions about? Go ahead, Marianne.
So I think I was thinking that we would print some of the thing that we mailed to everybody, because not everybody opens and reads their mail. And then that the sheet that we sort of worked on, that you and I worked on, that we didn't finish. But so like a 3-page thing that we could, and if we don't have them folded, it's not going to cost as much to have them printed. And since it's just facts, I can print them at town hall. It's not, it doesn't say vote. It doesn't, it's just facts. So I can print those at town hall. So, and I think that is all very good, solid information. So, so I think I can take it. If you can send me that final paragraph the paragraph that George gave you a sentence to change this morning, if you could send me just that, then I can put it all together and have the copies ready for town meeting, because I have a volunteer in tomorrow that could go over, make the copies.
I can,
Um,
I can
okay.
definitely send you that, Marianne.
Okay,
And,
yeah.
great.
So what's
I
the,
do
what's,
think, sorry, who am I speaking over? I'm sorry, Michelle.
it's okay, I just wanted to find out what the statement from George was. Is it about the?
If you've been on Nextdoor today, you'll see that there was a discussion about exactly why the tax implications for householders, homeowners, and the town decreases over time. And George helped me, well, really developed a statement explaining that it's because it's a fixed principal payment loan. So on a mortgage, the principal keeps getting rolled and added in. Okay, but this, the principal payment stays the same for the first 10 years and then decreases for the next 10 years or something like that. And so your debt service also decreases over time. And that's why you end up with, like, in year 15, you end up with a payment that's like, I don't know, 61% of your year one payment.
Okay.
Okay, so doing my best to answer these questions, even though obviously it's, municipal finance is not my strength, but fortunately we have people for whom it is.
Yeah,
So when people say, you know, my tax payment, it's going to add $100 a year for 20 years. It's not actually $100 a year for 20 years. It's $100 and then, and then $98 and then,
It would be, if it's
$97.
$100 for year one, it'll be $61 by year 15.
Right,
Okay.
right.
okay, Tim, do you have a comment?
Yeah, Kate, I was just wondering if you think people are clear that the value to use is their assessed value, not their fair market value, because that'll affect people's perceptions hugely if they use a different value.
Yeah, I just did a whole nother post today that explained how to find your assessed value.
Okay.
I went through it step by step because looking at that GIS map, it can be hard or confusing for people. And I literally laid out every single step that you need to take to get to your assessed value, and then said, this is the one that you want to plug into this calculator. And I gave the link, and then I said, and that is your year one payment. And then I gave the step down in percentages for 5, 10, 15.
When you say post, are you referring to Nextdoor
It's all,
Shutesbury?
it's, this is the thing that's really different this time, to my mind, apart from there's a lot of circumstances that are different in terms of the percentage of the grant, the percentage of the total cost that the grant pays, the amount of money that we've worked really hard to set aside and save, the economic conditions that make some things uncertain for us. But the other big factor that's hugely different is this time we have social media. The last time we did not. There was no Nextdoor
Right.
when we were having this conversation 10 or 11 years ago. So I'm doing a lot of work, and honestly, like, this is what I mean by people must be really heartily sick of me by now, but I'm doing a lot of work to step people through how you understand what your specific real tax implications are going to be over time. Okay.
I'd also like to reiterate what Brad said. I think you're outstanding as a spokesperson. And if you can hang in there for another few days, I think you would be doing everybody a great service. Because
So kind. Y'all are so kind.
you express things greatly, you field questions greatly, you have a good sense of balance on things. So I would heartily urge you to hang in there for a few more days.
Oh, I certainly will. And I just having your confidence and support. Y'all are awesome. I really appreciate it.
Marianne?
So at town meeting, like, they'll say it's time to vote on this, and do you, is someone going to make a report? And that's us. And then, so even, even Michelle and Tim and Melanie, if you're not gonna speak, if you could come stand with us anyway,
Sure.
that I think you should stand beside us or behind us. And Savannah, I understand that you might not be able to do that. And that's why I didn't ask you to do that. So,
Yeah, that's
so,
fine.
okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how I can participate.
Yeah.
Just really hard for me to get around.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I've had the same thought because I don't know if I'll get COVID, and then if I do, I can't even go, and then I can't vote. So like, I've thought about that a lot and wondered, I was like, what about people who can't be
Right.
there for a health
Right.
reason? It sort of seems
Yeah.
like they should make it available on Zoom or something. Has Becky thought about that at all? Or Paul?
I
or-
don't think they can.
Oh,
I don't think they can make it
can't.
available on
They
Zoom.
can't. There would need to be a state approval for modification of town meeting to allow people to attend and vote online.
hmm.
And what a logistical nightmare that would be. Okay.
Yeah, it would be. I just have to stay healthy. There's others.
I know. Everyone's gonna do what they can. Everyone can only do what they can. I really, y'all, this is not it's probably true for many of you. This is not the only, you know, difficult effort that people have invested years and years in, that many of us have probably been involved in, from just getting ourselves through school to raising our children to, trying to work on a political or an issue campaign. And the important thing to remember is you can only do what you can do, and it is always a collective effort, and you can never require yourself to think that you are, more than the single person with circumstances that we all are. So
Yeah, it just makes me nervous after how close the vote was last
I
time.
know, I understand that, but what are you gonna do? There's
Yeah, if I have it, I
nothing-
can't go there. I mean, I realize that. I just have to.
Yeah.
Right. But Erin will be, have
She's
had it
fine.
enough days that she can
Yeah,
go.
the school nurse
And-
said she can go back Wednesday. She'll be there. Yeah.
Right. Right. And Ryan will be able to be there. So,
Yeah,
so
as long as
it's,
he
I mean,
stays
we're
healthy
all
too.
just going to do the best we can.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
That's
Tim,
right.
sorry. Tim? You have your hand
Oh,
raised?
there's a machine running in the background, so it's hard to hear. I'm sorry.
Did you have your hand up still, or is that a new
Yeah,
hand?
no, I think I've read of various venues or situations where they had an auxiliary canopy or tent where they created enough space for people who tested positive or had an issue to be distant enough, but yet able to participate.
Hmm.
I mean, you could literally even have people sitting in their cars if you got, 7 or 8 people that can attend but don't want to mingle. Have people.
Well, it's big enough back there that, people that, could-
But I think if we got a message out that if you are testing positive and are feeling okay, Mary Ann's shaking her head. So
I don't think the town.
If somebody is positive with COVID and they're in their first 5 days,
Yeah.
they absolutely should
They're
not
supposed to-
come to town
Right, they're
meeting.
supposed to isolate.
even if
Oh.
they're in an isolation area on the grounds.
No,
Right.
isolation means you stay home.
Yeah.
and
And there
you live.
isn't one.
There isn't one.
There
It's-
isn't one. And
it's
town
too
meeting is
big,
like
yeah.
6 days away. And I don't think that the town clerk or the town have the resources to scramble one that quickly.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just
Yeah.
have to go with the guidance. I appreciate what you're saying and I understand why, but I think we have to just go with what we have.
Okay, any other comments before we, anything else? I just I wondered how the Friends, I didn't know the Friends had like a tag sale yesterday. I saw it too late. It was already almost over.
So
think
what
someone
happened
posted it.
yesterday was the Shutesbury Athletic Club had a multi-family tag sale,
Oh,
and the Friends asked if they could bring their Shutesbury gear and a
okay.
small book sale and participate. And so people who set up there paid the club $20.
Mhm.
So the Friends were there and then did a really good job promoting it. So that brought more people out to the tag sale for the people who were there. And it was a really fun event. So Josh Kingsbury, who lives here in town, and his dad brought their vegetable starts and their annuals from their farm. And then, the library, the Friends of the Library were there with the Shutesbury stuff and a book sale, and then people had their tag sale stuff, and it was really fun. I hope they do it again. I love community events, and we've had a shortage of them the past 2 years.
Yeah,
So
it's hard to have a tag sale in Shrewsbury, so having a multi-family, that makes sense. Good.
yes, yeah. So it was good. So, and now the Friends are having their cafe on Saturday, and then they're having a tag sale on Sunday,
Great.
which I hope is a big celebratory event.
Yes, let's hope so. Okay.
And in terms of other Friends activities, the Friends, I believe, are doing a postcard mailing tomorrow to supporters, reminding them about town meeting. Is that right, Marianne?
Yep, I think some people might have gotten the postcard today.
Got mine.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
And then can I just say one other thing from my experience, which is that we as a body have been deliberate and measured, and I think entirely appropriate in how we've communicated about this town meeting. And if we are fortunate and the stars align with how we plan to communicate about the ballot measure. As you get closer to an election, the rules become stricter. And so it is really important that as individuals that are part of the library trustees, we stick to our decisions, our communication decisions, which is that we can encourage people to vote. We are not encouraging people to vote for the library.
Right.
That is the role of the Friends. Other people can do that. That is not our role.
Right.
Our role is to make sure that we are doing our very best to inform people and give them the best information that we can about the decision that they have to take on Saturday. And that's it. Okay. And I think that we have been well served by that strategy. And I think it'll continue to serve us. And even if it weren't, I think we should stick to it with all our might, because as you get closer to an election, the rules become stricter. Thanks for listening.
Hey, Brad?
Kate, does that mean I shouldn't have a lawn sign?
You can have a lawn sign.
Yeah.
That's your private property. That's your private opinion. You do not stop being a citizen just because you're serving on a body. Okay. But what you say as a member of the body, right, really trying to be very clear about which hat you've got on in the moment. Okay. But I appreciate the question very much.
I have 2 signs. Anyway, is there anything else we need to talk about? And then we talked about maybe having, is there a need for another meeting this week? And if so, when would that be?
We have one scheduled for Thursday evening, do we not?
So I posted one for Wednesday, but I could post one for Thursday.
I thought I saw the 18th. Am I just losing my tiny mind?
The 18th is Wednesday, but I don't have anything.
Oh
Wednesday or
gosh, I
Thursday.
am losing my tiny mind. Okay, sorry.
I don't have anything for either day.
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't that the
Yeah.
flash mob?
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
flash mob will be over by 7 p.m.
Okay.
So,
Well, so what we did this time was have the meeting scheduled and make a call close to the time. Are people comfortable with doing that again? Can we do, I'm sorry, Michelle, I'm just like so fried. I'm just talking.
Yeah, I was just looking at my calendar. Like I said, I'll be back kind of late from the vets, but that could work. But then Marianne, I don't know if the 19th with 7:30, would that work for you?
on Thursday?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I need to, I'll find a way to make it work.
Okay.
So we would schedule the meeting for Wednesday and we would schedule one for Thursday?
Oh, I
Okay,
think we just need to sort out. I think we only need one, but I was just trying to sort out,
okay.
it just makes it crunch for me last time. That's why I was coming on just like very late because I had we got home at, the vet was 20 minutes behind. I got home late. I had to wolf down something to eat. But that was 7, so the 7:30 might work. So how about anybody
We
else?
do this, could we do a quorum check for 7:30 on Wednesday? And how many of us think we can make that conversation or that meeting?
I think I can, even if it's crunched. Okay.
That looks like a
everybody, looks like
quorum.
everybody can. Okay. All right.
That was Wednesday, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, Wednesday, the
Yes,
18th.
the 18th. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. And then when will we need to meet again after town meeting, do you think?
Could I respectfully suggest that we give ourselves a break after town meeting for a little bit?
Sure. So we just go a month later or?
Oh, God, no.
No, but maybe the 6th of June.
Yes.
Give ourselves the Monday after town meeting and Memorial Day off,
Yeah.
take a break,
That
and then
makes sense
come
to me.
back to
That
get
makes
on the
sense.
6th. Does that work
Yeah.
for people?
That makes sense to me.
I do think that we're gonna want to be prepared to meet frequently during June between the
Right, because the
their
building
town
committee.
meeting vote and the simple majority vote on the 28th, if we get that
Right,
far.
right.
So just to prepare for
And then
that.
the building committee would need to get started at, after
Yeah, if
July 1st or something.
we'll burn that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, Brad?
I'm just doing my usual double check of my calendar. So I think you just said, I didn't get this in, I know it's happening, it's not in my calendar. The 28th is the second vote?
Yes, if there's a second vote,
Tuesday.
it'll be the 28th.
That's a ballot vote.
It's a ballot vote, so you can vote anytime. You can vote absentee. I mean, anytime on that date, and you can vote absentee. I do not know about early voting for that yet. Marianne, do you?
No early voting.
There will be no early voting.
Okay. Do
So
we-
our next meeting after Wednesday would be the 6th of June at 7:30.
Right.
Sorry.
And then for the ballot vote, would the Friends be putting something out to remind people about it or?
I think that there will be a whole messaging strategy for the ballot and this ballot vote.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I would think too and hope so.
And we will
guess-
need to play a part in it.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk
Somehow.
about that on the 6th, then we'll know what we're doing.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Anything else, anyone? No? Okay. I guess we'll all see each other on Saturday.
And
I hope
Thursday
so.
possibly. And we'll let you know during the, Wednesday. Jesus. Swear to God, it's Wednesday, y'all.
So Wednesday, we should agree on a time to make a decision, because I do have a busy day planned already, so we should just make sure that we decide by a certain time, Kate and
How
Mary.
about by noon?
Okay,
Does
that
that
sounds
seem
good.
possible?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do that. Let's decide by noon.
Okay.
All right. No go at noon on Wednesday for the meeting that night.
Yep. And I can send that out. It's just that my morning is kind of packed and then I have to do the dog thing. So I could send
I
out,
can
once we
take it-
decide by noon, I can send it out.
I can do it, Michelle, if you need me to. Why don't you just let me do that, okay?
Okay, okay. We'll just check
Alright.
in by noon. Okay. All right, we're good.
We are so good.
Be well, stay
Okay.
healthy, everybody, so we can all be there.
Yes, yes. Savannah, I hope you feel better.
Yeah,
And thank you so much for being here.
here.
Definitely.
I want to ask a question about town meeting. If I were there and I were lying down, let's say, in the car, and then Katie or somebody would let me know it was time to vote, could I do that?
Sure,
Yes.
absolutely. We could text you.
Yes. It might be kind of hot for you to be laying down in the car.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 90 that day.
It's supposed to be 90 that day.
Hey, Savannah,
Yeah,
I have an electric car with a good air conditioner. If you want, so because I don't think you're gonna want to idle the car, right, to stay cool. But if you want, you could be in my car. Just let me know if that would be helpful.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay. All right,
And
Melanie.
then Savannah, I think the town clerk might be able to come to you to get your ballot in the car. So,
Okay,
anyway,
I'm not too concerned about that because I mean, Katie will be there,
Okay.
so, you know,
okay,
we'll be,
okay.
it's gonna be
Paper ballot. Yep.
paper
Yes.
ballot.
We've
Yeah.
been assured that by the moderator already.
Oh,
Okay.
They probably won't let Katie take your ballot. Like
Okay,
could you
yeah,
call the town clerk and talk to her about this?
sure,
Okay. All right. Call her tomorrow and talk to her about it, okay?
Yeah.
And come up with a plan. She'll come up with a plan to help you.
okay.
All right.
okay. Maybe we'll see each other Wednesday. If not, we'll see each other Saturday.
Okay. All right. Stay
Okay.
healthy, everyone.
Yeah, stay
Okay.
healthy.
Thank you.
All
Good
right.
night.
Bye.
Thank you. Okay. All right.